What it do, what it do. It's your boy Bandit, and y'all know what it is. It's Friday, 10:15. This is Detroit. What up, Doe?
What up, Doe?
What up, Doe?
What up, Doe?
I'm gonna let my cast introduce themselves, starting with DaeDae.
What up? It's your boy Jay, and we're here on this Friday, October 25th, on the eve of the night of the massacre of the University of Michigan. Because Michigan State going in there and beating the fuck out of them tomorrow.
Keegan.
I'm Keegan. You can find me on TikTok and on Instagram at thatwingsfan97.
Chris.
Yep, I'm Chris, and you can find me on X at Crazy Hockey Fan. You can also find me on TikTok at Crazy Hockey Fan 1 and Facebook and other platforms. I just noticed that there's no Michigan fans in here, so go MSU.
Yeah.
Go green. Go green.
All right, before we get into the latest topics, news, and updates on Detroit, I do have to say this. It's been a year since I lost a close friend and brother of mine, my friend Dion, man, who I started podcasting with, man. So I do got to say RP Dion, man. Like I said, I started doing this with him, man. If it wasn't for him, I probably don't know where I'd be at. So I got to give all my respects to him, man. RP Dion, man. I love you, bro.
R.I.P. He wasn't an Ohio State fan like you were, though, was he?
Yeah, he was an Ohio State fan, and he messed with Detroit, so.
I'll give him a break. I won't mess with him today.
But let's get into some of these topics, man. Starting off with this, if y'all haven't seen, I know this ain't Detroit, but seriously, talk with Matthew Stafford going to the Vikings, man. Even though they just beat the Vikings yesterday, man. Hey, what was your thought? I mean, I don't know if you heard this or seen this, man. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, it was also last I heard it was proven to be wrong. Like it's not just a bullshit rumor. There's no real tread to it. At least that's the last I heard. And that was a couple days ago. But
Chris and Keegan, did y'all hear anything about this?
Yeah, I did. This has been what's it called, debunked several times. I can't name who did it or who didn't do it, but it's been debunked a few times. But why would Matthew Stafford go when they have Puka Nacua and it just proves that with what they did to the Vikings this past weekend. I mean, Puka Nacua comes back, Cooper Kupp comes back. I mean, their defense is a shell of what it used to be, and they still did well against the Vikings. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think it was all just for show.
And on one thing, I do not want to see him in the Vikings uniform.
No, neither do I. It would be so Matthew Stafford to be that petty to come over to the Vikings after what we kind of did to them at the end of last season. So, I mean, it would be kind of petty, but I could see it.
Keegan, your thoughts on the whole situation?
I don't know. Like Chris said, I think it's been debunked. I feel like it's been debunked. I haven't really seen that talk per se, but if it did happen, I mean, I wouldn't really like that on the Viking side, just because it's like I'd rather go with JJ, someone a little bit younger. Because like Sam Darnold, like I don't know, like he's good, but he's probably some team's gonna overpay for him in the offseason. I'd rather go young and kind of keep the rebuild kind of.
I think Joseph's correct. I really think so. I think the Rams can win the West
if they're healthy.
Yeah.
I don't. Keegan, you said you think Sam Darnold's going to get paid. I don't, man, because the Vikings just lost Christian Darrisaw.
Yeah,
their top tackle, and man, if Sam Darnold struggles and they collapse, man, ain't nobody going to want to pay him.
Oh yeah, I get it. But at the same time, it's like when you start, like what was like 4-0, 5 was it 5-0?
5-0.
Yeah, when you start 5-0, some teams like the Raiders would be stupid enough to pay him that crap. Like,
well, at this point, it depends on how well he's going to do from here on out. Like if he's not the cause of them losing, like if he's out, like look at the last game, he didn't do bad. He didn't throw a pick. What do you have? 2 touchdowns and like 240 yards or something. Still did well. Good passer rating. Good QB rating. I mean, he did good. Like if he can prove that he can still like throw the ball and not make key bad throws in the offense that they have and keep him afloat, I think he'll get a paycheck. He's not going to get the bag, but he's going to get
like he'll get a good paycheck. It's just not
Yeah.
like he'll get the stability, if anything. Like
Let's give a shout out to our Vikings boys real quick, man. I know they reeling pretty hard, man. They got that Detroit Dan Campbell flu.
Oh yeah, that
So
We're gonna
you
talk.
know what, Zoe? Because I don't know if Zoe, because I'm still looking for you, brother. 'Cause
exactly.
You sat and you talked about my defense, and we beat y'all.
Yeah.
So, shout out to the Vikings boys.
Hey, we
man.
would have been there if we'd have lost. We'd have definitely been there. We'd have came in and we'd have lost and we'd have taken it on the chin. You never. Only your boy. Who was the guy's name that came in? What was your buddy? Bandit?
Wood.
Wood.
D.
Wood
Wood.
is your only
Wood.
representative that came in there. So if you listen to this, just understand that like we were looking for you, man. We wouldn't have given you a hard time. We'd have just talked like normal people, man. But you didn't show
What did you call it? The Detroit Lions flu?
The Detroit
Detroit
Lions.
Lions flu.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they lose. Yep.
Daddy, you be reading my mind, man. Hey, after every team we beat, man, they go play afterwards. They lose, man.
Rumor has it the Cowboys lost to their bye. So it's really
Yeah. But you know what's funny is though, all the teams that they played were winnable teams. Though it's not like that they played like freaking the Kansas City Chiefs or the Buffalo Bills. Their Cardinals are playing the Commanders, Bucks, the Broncos. The Rams played the Cardinals. The Seahawks.
The Seahawks played the Giants.
Like you played teams that are very winnable. So it wasn't like, oh, they just played a hard team. That's why. No,
beat
they
up.
actually
Dallas
That's the only way I
has
can see it.
Dallas has
San
San
Francisco.
Francisco this weekend. Yep.
they may lose. And I really hope they do. As much as I'd rather San Francisco lose, I'm sorry, I want Dallas buried.
Mm-hmm. You know why? I say it all the time. Because Dak is ass.
Dak his ass.
Dak is ass.
Yes,
Preaching it for 2 years now, man.
Problems over there. But I know
I need him to do well in fantasy though. Like he can throw for like 4 touchdowns. No, I don't give a flying 4 touchdowns and 300 yards, and I want them to lose.
that's how I lost to you in fantasy because of Zach.
Yep. Whatchamacallit? Richard thought he had me. I told you. You got to wait till those quarterbacks kick in, man. Those points fly up the chain after that.
We're gonna get into our fantasy talk a little bit later. But let's talk about some news and some gospel going around the league. The team is losing, and they start player. They just got rid of their wide receiver, and they talking about getting rid of him. Let's see what Ocho and my man, they had to say about that.
Myles Garrett is reportedly drawing trade interest after the Cleveland Browns fell to 1-6 on Sunday. According to Sports Illustrated, Albert Breer, opposing teams have checked on Garrett. I don't think they'll move Myles Garrett, but some fishing has taken place. Anyone can call. Cleveland has already moved one key contributor, 6-time Pro Bowler Amari Cooper. Cooper was set to become a free agent at the end of the season. While Garrett still has 2 more years on his contract, he recorded at least 14 sacks in each of the past 3 seasons. Ocho, should the Browns move on from Myles Garrett?
I mean, at 1-6 with his with such a high caliber player, I think it'd be good for him at this point in his career to be on a contender, to be able to give a team and to be able to bolster a defensive team that is contending, for a championship or a ring. I think it would be a good move for him to be with a team that has a chance to win. So
I would move him.
He probably wouldn't come out and say it, but I'm sure that's something he would like. A fresh start, and hell, look, a chance to maybe win a ring or make a run in the playoffs really far.
I would move him.
But where? That's the question.
What's the best package? What's the best package I could get?
They need a DN over there in Detroit.
Myles Garrett to the Lions. Daddy, would you accept that?
Yeah, I would, and I would give up. I'd give up a decent amount to get him. I've given up a first to get my first and that'd be like a fourth because we don't have a third, or we give a third next year or something. But I'm definitely, if I can go get Myles Garrett and then pair him up with Hutch when Hutch comes back healthy, come on, man.
And he got 2 years left on his deal.
Yeah, well, he's gonna want a new deal. If he's traded, he's gonna want a new deal.
But if we trade, we don't have to finish the new deal. So we still have wiggle room. You feel me?
I'm looking at the contract right now. So after this year is 2 more. So you could probably get into the beginning of next year and then start discussing an extension with him without having to actually make that deal this year, because he still has 2 more after this year. So.
Do you have any guaranteed money though? Is it any of a guaranteed money?
Let me check how much guaranteed money he has.
Well, my thing too is
no, you're right. All his guaranteed. This is his last year of any guaranteed money.
Oh, shit.
So he's gonna want a new deal.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Go ahead, Keegan.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, I think you gotta at least entertain the idea of go getting a guy like him. Like, you kind of have to, especially with Hutch being out. Like, that pass rush you need help with massively, and obviously, probably one of the best pass rushers it's not playing right now. So it's like, gotta go get someone that can kind of fill that gap a little bit, but also you can use them still effectively with Hutch out there too. Like I'm still in the mindset, like, obviously it's not going to ever happen because he's kind of flat out said, like,
he's a Raider.
Yeah, he's a Raider, like Crosby, like Max Crosby. Like I do anything to get that guy to come home.
That was AI. That was fake. That was AI.
No
DaeDae. No DaeDae. Not anything. Hold on now.
But
I don't know how they get down over there in Red Wing land, but it ain't no like this over here in Lion land, bro.
Yeah, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna get no baby oil. Go ahead, Keegan. I'm sorry. We would just be a challenge.
Oh, you're fine. But like, in the sense of like draft picks, it's like you try give up whatever, to try and get them at that point. No, you'd at least entertain the idea of Max Crosby. Obviously, that wouldn't happen, but Myles Garrett's probably the best option that is available.
Cleveland just sold, like they said, the receiver Amari Cooper.
Like Amari Cooper, like that was big for him to go to Buffalo. It's like, oh hey, they're tearing it down. Like they are in full rebuild mode. They are trying to get rid of everything
now. Feel bad
from what I've heard. Cleveland has like moved money around in that contract too, where that contract is easily tradable, and they're also willing to eat some of the salary too.
Yeah,
so we can get them to eat some of the salary, and then we can get him here, get him a new deal because he's gonna want one. Like, it's not up for debate. He's gonna want a new deal.
Yeah,
get him his new deal, man, and then we're good. But if we can't get him, there's a couple other like complimentary pieces we can go out there and get. There's a couple names out there.
Give us a couple, DaeDae.
There's his teammate Zadarius Smith has been linked to the Lions a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always liked him. I liked him when he was in Green Bay. I really liked him when he was in Green Bay. And that's tough for me to say. He's a little older now, but he's got 4 sacks already this year, which is pretty good through week 7 now. This will be week 7 coming up. So 4 through I think they've had a bye, so like 4 sacks in 6 games. That's pretty good. I mean, he's got more than our whole active D line right now. There's Harold Landry from the Titans. He played underneath our D line coach that we got now.
Yeah.
And then there's a one that was thrown around for a while there, maybe about a month and a half ago. The kid out of Cincinnati, Trey Hendrickson. I haven't heard that name come up a lot lately, but that's another one that would be a good fit if we could pull something off like that.
And that's probably
go ahead.
And that's probably the guy it's going to be too, because the guy we least hear about. Yeah,
that's kind of what I was going to lead in to say. We got to watch Brad Holmes, because there's been reports that he said that he's calling on players that aren't even available. Guys that like haven't been like listed on like the trade block. Brad Holmes is looking for anything, bro. So we get something out of left field for all we know.
Yeah, I mean,
sit back and let Brad cook. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying, Max. Like, if he's calling on those type of guys, like anything can happen. That's all I'm saying. Like,
I doubt, unless they can find somebody on a team that's on the last year of their contract where he can sign him to like a 2-year extension as a prove it deal. Like, let's say that they're a good player, but they've had that.
Perfectly, because go ahead. I said I got a player that fits perfectly that person you thinking about on a proven deal. Number 2 year. What about the dude that played for the Jets that just now coming off and playing his first game?
Anybody associated with the Jets, keep them away from my team. They're
Yeah, I don't want any. I don't want any. I don't want
That poverty
anything
ass
from the
franchise.
Jets whatsoever.
Damn, Justin, there wasn't nothing to do with the damn Jets, bro.
Bro, there's talk of oh well, when Aaron Glenn leads, hire Robert Saleh. Nah, he was a Jet. Keep him away from my team. Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't want him.
The
Don't
whole
want him.
franchise is cursed.
Yeah.
You want nothing to do with him.
But Hassan Reddick's a good player, so I mean, I wouldn't mind. Like,
Yeah.
he's a good player. Not saying he's a terrible player, but he's been infected by the Jets, so just stay over there, bro.
That illness can stay over there.
He said he got that gangrene.
There's
I just see him looking for a player that's really good, that's sitting on the back burner. That's just he's not a big name. He's getting ready for another contract. You know, he's on the last year of a deal. He kind of needs a better situation. I think that's something that maybe Brad will go for it, an under name, and you can get him for a lower pick, and he'll help the line greatly. You know, like not to the point like Hutch, obviously, but he'll fill in the gap. And so then maybe you can put him on the other side when Hutch comes back, and then you have a tandem there. You know,
Yeah, the 1-2. Like that'd be great.
They brought up that kid from the Giants, Ojulari, I think is his name.
Yeah.
I think that guy, I like him as a player, man, but I don't know if we brought him in if he could be that, like, the guy to sit there and kind of like help fill the role of Hutch, because I think that guy, because he plays
Let's be honest,
to,
nobody's gonna fill that whole of Hutch.
Which team does he play on?
the Giants. It's like Aziz Ojulari. He
Yeah,
plays
he's
next
not
to
gonna be able to fill
play,
the whole of Hutch, bro.
well, you know what I mean. Like, obviously, nobody. There's the only guy outside of Myles Garrett, Max Crosby. Those are the only two. But Myles Garrett's realistic, but I don't think it'll happen. But no, the dude who plays for the Giants, he plays next to Dexter Lawrence, and I think he just might be a Dexter Lawrence merchant. But he's a good player. Ojulari is a really good player.
Is he saying that, Chris?
No, I'm not. I was just asking about, because I'm trying to see what his like stats are, how well does he do, and then versus like, because if they're really good, I mean, because I don't know him well enough. I've heard the name, I just don't know how well he is. Aziza Ojulari. Okay, got it.
He's a decent player. I'll tell you why he's probably a Lion. Out of everybody we mentioned, he's got injury history, bro. And that's Brad's like cup of tea right there, dog. He's like, oh, you got injury?
Don't go get on my
you,
Uncle
bro.
Brad
Come
with
on,
that,
dog.
man.
Well,
Uncle Brad.
well,
Bro,
I mean, he's
at home special, dog.
yeah. I mean, he's played 17, and then 7, then 11 games, and now he's played every game this year so far. So, I mean, it's okay. He's got, let's see, per game. He averages about a half a sack a game over the
Okay, so that's
games
like
that he's played. A half a sack a game. Let's see. He hasn't done as well this year. He has 4 in 7 games, so that's not too bad. 4 sacks in 7 games.
But he did have 2 in one game against.
That makes a difference.
Yeah, he had 2 in one game 2 weeks ago, I think it was too.
And you compare him next to DJ Reader and Lee Manil.
He doesn't get a lot of tackles though. He has a pretty good number of assists. Yeah, he doesn't get a lot of tackles though. That's the thing. I don't know if that matters with an edge rusher, but
Wait.
It does a little bit. There's more sacks and
yeah.
Wait.
Unfortunately, it doesn't
You
give
don't
me.
like DJ Reader and Lee McNeil?
Yeah, man, but they're not on the level of being like a Dexter Lawrence.
I said if you compare, I put them next to him.
Yeah, and this dude's next to Dexter Lawrence is what I'm saying. Damn, Chris, you done disappeared and went to the back of the locker room? See you, Chris.
Yeah, for some reason this green screen for the Red Wings doesn't give, like, it makes me disappear too much.
You'll be all right. We still see you. You still here.
Yeah, I
with
was
us.
trying to see if he if I'm trying to find some advanced stats so that way I can see what his pressures are and stuff like that, but can't find him, unfortunately.
So if you had to pick, hold on before we move on.
Go ahead, you got it.
Damn. Damn.
Breathe. Breathe.
If you had to pick between Ojolari, Landry, and Zadarius Smith right now, out of those three, who would you pick?
It depends on the compensation that I'm getting because that evens things out a little bit. And do we have to extend him, and how much are we going to extend him for?
Chris just made this quick. It's just so much.
Just pick the player, man. We'll figure out the.
No, you can't just pick the player because
I'm just seriously like talking this. The player you'd want on your team. We'll figure out the compensation later.
Zadarius Smith. Zadarius
just
Smith
a
is the best player. If it didn't matter if it was across the board, I'm taking Zadarius Smith.
Me too. He plays the run game well too.
Yeah. But everything else has to be factored in, man. I'm thinking like a cap guy. Like I'm thinking like the money that's involved, like how much you're gonna extend him, like everything comes into play. It just works like that. That's being realistic.
Sometimes you just gotta take a hypothetical as is. You gotta play Madden. You gotta play Madden GM real quick.
I hate
it.
I told y'all the last time I played Madden, never. It was game day 95.
Chris, you're ducking, bro. You won't get college football, you're ducking.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
The only way I'm getting a college football one is if you guys pay me for the gaming system. That's it. That's the only way I'm getting.
Mine was $150.
What for?
All right, man. Let's get into the next topic, man. Let's get into some bad news, man.
Oh yeah. Have to go with it no matter what.
Yeah, like. So, do we know what they saying that he took? Because I know it's not PEDs or anything else like that. Because this is the least suspension that you can get in the NFL. Like,
I think what I was seeing is, or like this is what I think it is. I think he came out with a statement, but
yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, but I think what happened was he took some type of like painkiller because like obviously if he's in
I heard
pain,
it was Adderall. He got a new prescription for Adderall.
Yeah, something like
that.
He took it. He had no idea that the league, whatever, like it was not. He wasn't able to use it. Got drug tested for it. It came up. Whatever. It's only 2 games. Like I mean, it still sucks, but it's like it would have been more if it was more severe. 2's very odd with that, you know.
And I agree. When you change prescriptions, because I take ADHD medication, and I've switched prescriptions before. And when we go now, unfortunately for him, he doesn't have a doctor necessarily that probably works with the NFL necessarily. But like for our military doctors, whenever we have a prescription, if we have to change it, they actually, when they put the prescription in, it crosses like with whatever everything else is. And if you have a tendency to pop hot or for drugs or something like that, or a tendency, they'll say, well, you can't use that prescription. You have to change it. You have to change it to somebody else. I think these guys need doctors that work with the NFL so that they know what they can take. I think this will alleviate a lot of issues with what people take. Because guess what? I think that would have kept him from getting a 2-game suspension. A lot of this stuff, you're just like, yeah, I know what to put in your mouth. Yeah, but I have to hope the doctor knows that I can take that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Partial blame's on him. Partial blame is on the doctor.
Yeah. Because if I go up to the doctor and say, yeah, I need a prescription for Adderall or ADHD medication, the doctor's just going to prescribe the one that works for you. He's not going to go like, well, the NFL says that you can't use this. Like,
yeah. Well, I think
you're not going to know either because you're not a doctor.
Yeah. Right. At least he owned up to it. He's like, listen, like, you know, it is what it is, but like, we're going to move forward and come back stronger and whatever. I respect that. Like, obviously he's had he knows whatever happened, he can't control it, but at the same time, like, he knows all the BS that goes around it. Like, oh, he hasn't played a full season. Oh, he can't get us out of trouble, whatever. I don't think necessarily this was like, it's a little bit of his fault, but not really at the same time. It's just the NFL saying you can't take this specific thing when he had no idea. So it's like, oh, like that's kind of weird, you know. I honestly, I would take it like the NHL. It's very like obviously you don't hear a lot about like all that kind of stuff because they all go to like the assistance program and whatever. But like if they like have something happen or whatever, it's kind of like more of a fine. Like they get suspended some of the time, but most of the time it's like a fine. I feel like in that sense, it's like, oh, he accidentally took something that you can easily correct and like, hey, don't do this again. Might as well just give him a fine or something like that. I feel like that's a better way of handling it than suspension.
My question is, did he take a urine out? Because I don't remember. They said he popped for PEDs. PEDs, right?
They didn't say. I know, as they said, it wasn't a PED. It wasn't a performance enhancer.
My issue is,
it's a substance, not a drug.
Say that again.
You know, PED is a performance enhancing drug.
Correct.
PES is performance enhancing substance.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between the two.
Because there are drugs out there that if you pee in a cup and you pop hot, but it's a false positive, means you didn't take a drug. It just shows up like you took a drug.
Yeah.
Like this is where it went back to the military. The military, there are certain drugs out there, ADHD medication, Concerta. In some people, you will get a false positive. You'll pop hot, but with us, as long as it's lower than like 5 nanograms or something like that, doesn't even come back to our command. Our command will never even know about it because the doctors check it before it's reported. They're like, oh, this guy's got a prescription for this. He didn't really pop hot. It's just a false positive. I think all sports should have this in place because if a person, hey, I take a prescription, I could have a false positive. They look at it and go, yep, it's a false positive. And this could be easily eliminated.
So, Chris, because you said you take ADHD medication, do you pop hot? I mean, pop hot?
You'll never know.
Oh, okay. So you don't even know. You won't even find out yourself.
Nobody will know because what happens is let's say they do a whole 100%. So we got like 50 people taking a piss or going to the bathroom, and after it's all done, they put them in these little jars. They put like tape and everything, so you just approve the bottle. They tape it up like crazy, and they can't break the seal or anything like that. They put this in a giant box. It gets sent through like 2 hands. And then when they open it up at the facility, they pour a portion of it in. It goes through a centrifuge that will separate everything. They put it through a testing machine. They test it a couple of times because and then after they test it a couple of times, if it pops hot more, I think it's more than 15 nanograms or 10 nanograms. If it goes higher than that, then it's a true drug that you were taking. If it doesn't,
God damn, you got to go through that every time.
Well, we won't know. We don't get the results until like 30 days later. Like this, they go through all this stuff. Like you won't even you go to the bathroom, then and that's it. Like it goes through all these things, and then if you pop hot, like you've been smoking weed or whatever it is, they will alert your command. But if it's a false positive, it is a very low nanogram level. It won't even get past the doctors. It won't even come back at all. Nobody will ever know.
Can we go back to Joseph's comments over here? What are you saying? Are you saying this is an issue with JMO? Like this is like you have a problem with JMO getting suspended? Like, yeah, read fine print, JMO. Again, what do you mean by that? Like, are you saying this is like repeated behavior because he's been suspended twice now and all that?
I think that's what he's trying to say. He didn't read the fine print with the gambling situation.
No, time out. No. We're not doing that. No. Stop.
We're done with that.
We're not bringing up the gambling because that was a rule nobody knew. Now you can't tell. Oh, you got to read the frame, bro. There was no fine print. Nobody knew that rule.
Yeah.
Nobody. Like,
believe it or not.
Nobody.
Believe it or not. There might not be anything there either for this one. You may have a list that states that you can't take, and it's a doctor word. Like, let's just use it. It's found in every food source. Monosodium glutamate, and you're just sitting there like, what the heck's that? How am I going to know if it's in anything? Because you don't know. Your doctor is supposed to tell you that. If the doctor says you're good, you can take this, you take it. Who are you going to ask? Like, show them a giant list of stuff. Is this the stuff is this in my medication that I'm taking? That'd be weird.
Chris, say that word again.
Monosodium glutamate. It's in a lot of food.
It came out of the woodwork with that one.
Yeah, that's like Chinese food, ramen noodle. They all have like a lot of monosodium glutamate in it.
It sounds like salt for the word sodium.
No, it's not sodium, but it's not good. It's not good for you. But we all love it because it comes in a lot of. I think it's a flavoring or something like that. I can't remember. Look it up.
All right,
We'll get past this. Jay will serve these little 2 games. It doesn't hurt so much, I think, against Tennessee. I think we're going to see it. We're going to see it in this game. We'll see that
the offense slow down a little bit.
Yeah. Not like to an extent where we're going to be struggling, but we'll notice the difference in our offense with Jamal not out there this weekend.
Yeah. I think the reason why he did, because you know how a lot of times they put in a request for like appeal to get it reduced a little bit. I think because it's 2 games, they were afraid that he wouldn't get it approved and it would move over into another week where we'd be against tougher teams that we need him for. And I think he said, we'll accept it, move on. We don't need him for the Titans. We may not need him for Green Bay, maybe.
So I got a question.
Need him for Houston, though, for sure.
Who's got on his offense? Start with you, DaeDae.
What'd you say?
I said with J-Mo being out these 2 games, who got to step up for his offense?
I think it's going to be a collective. I really do. Like, obviously, I'm not going to get into the backs because the backs are going to do what they're going to do. But I think it's going to be a mixture of, like, Tim Patrick, Laporta. I bet we see Raymond a little bit more this week or these next 2 weeks. Yeah, those 3. I think it's going to be a collective of those 3.
Keegan?
I think it's going to be Raymond and Laporta. I think, like, we haven't used Laporta as much as this year as we would, like, with, receiving the ball at all. But I think this week we're going to, see maybe Ben Johnson kind of use him a little bit more, utilize him more, kind of in the trying to get, some slots and just trying to get him some TDs, if that makes any sense, too.
Chris?
I think I've reached my quota on verbiage I can talk in this episode, right? No? Okay. No, I think who was the guy that we undrafted free agent, wasn't he?
Alexander.
What?
Alexander.
No. We picked him up. We signed with the highest.
Williams.
There you go.
Ooh, that would be a nice step up.
I mean, I see him playing a bigger role this week, but I mean, they're right on the fact of it being collective. I see a Sam Laporta game coming, just to get him back in the swing of things. I see him having a good game, maybe a touchdown, like 80 yards, maybe a really good game out of him. But collectively, it's always a collective. Who wants to step up? Who are they targeting when we go? Like, are they just going to put 8 or 9 men in the box, play man, and just take away our run game the best they can, and just hope that they can survive through our wide receivers? I don't know. I think Keegan said it best. Tim Patrick has a really good game as well. I think he gets a lot of targets. I see him getting like 5 or 6 targets at least.
Well, let's go to the next topic. Let's talk some hockey.
Intercepted, loose in front of the goal. Scores! I'm sure that New Jersey's looking at challenging this on an offside. It was very, very close.
But it wasn't. And we scored the goal. And we win the game. Hey, Detroit on a 3-way winning streak. Keegan and Chris. There's a hockey updates.
I guess I'll start.
Young man.
Yeah, so obviously out of the teams that we beat so far to go kind of on a streak, Nashville, Islanders, and then the Devils. What I've noticed through all those games is we're kind of reverting bad habits that we did previous 2 years is shots. We're not getting any shots on that. It's like we're afraid to take shots, and then just the whole dump and chase crap again. I'm sick of seeing it in the NHL. It doesn't work, for an NHL system anymore. It's kind of BS. Like you look at what this team did last year. Maybe it worked last year a little bit more than others, but we were also putting up shots. So it's like, oh hey, we're maybe losing by a goal, but we're putting up shots. Now it's like, oh hey, like we're losing because we're not putting up the shots, or we're just not driving the offense as much as we should, or we're just constantly in our zone, just getting pummeled by pucks. Like I think, like I'm very happy we're on a 3-game win streak right now, but I think right now I'm not impressed with the coaching side of things. I've prefaced this multiple times. The dump and chase fucking sucks, and it's not meant in today's NHL. Regardless of the winning, I'm not sold on this coaching staff at all, and I want a change, and you kind of need it, like to jolt something. Like I'm glad all these guys are kind of waking up a little bit. You look at Kane. Kane's looked exceptional last couple games, and then obviously like DeBrinket's kind of getting his goal scoring a little bit back. Raymond still doesn't have a goal, but he's putting up assists. Casper's looked phenomenal. Very happy with how he's looked so far, especially with who's out of the lineup, and they should keep him up. But I think overall the team just needs a bigger new voice. I don't think this coaching staff is going to get it done for us to get in the playoffs this year.
Over the last 2 of the last 3 games, they got over 5 goals. And you think they need a coaching change for that?
Okay, so it's not there's more to it than just that's the thing with hockey. There's a lot more nuance to hockey than there is to a lot of other games that you just don't pay attention to at all. So I agree. This is the one part I agree with Keegan on. I cannot stand. I've never liked dump and chase, even back when it was a thing. I just don't like dump and chase because, especially in today's NHL, defensemen are much more quicker to get things up ice. A lot of defenses, that's what they do. They revert back. They immediately grab the puck and they turn around and get it right back up ice.
Yeah. And like, so I don't mind it.
You dump it in. The defense are already back there, starting the roll back up the ice, and you don't even have your players.
Yeah, like I don't mind it if you're changing or whatnot. Yeah, but if you're just doing it to do it, like I got an issue with it.
Yeah, you gotta bring it across the line. Unless if you have issues getting it across the line, that's your team. That's an issue.
I think the Wings are part of that kind of in that dilemma right now too. In my opinion.
So. I mean, I'm not as high on Patrick Kane as Keegan is. I mean, when he scored the goal the other day or yesterday, it was the goalie like missed it. Like that should have been.
Went in. I mean, he'll take whatever you can get.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter how you shot it or whatever. All that matters is it went in the net and your team won at that point.
Yeah, I get it. Still not a big fan of Patrick Kane.
Like New Jersey's a good team. Like don't get me wrong. They added a goaltender. They added more defense. Obviously, Pesci and Hughes were in that game, so it was kind of like, they're trying to get their footing back in. I think.
Yep. I think this was
on a 4-game losing streak right now too. Like they haven't been too good right now.
They're probably so. That was the game that was the team that I was wondering. Okay, so are we gonna? This is a team that's good, but they're not as good as like Pittsburgh, and they're not as good as the Rangers.
You could argue Pittsburgh's like they're kind of in the same territory as we are because it's like they're decent. They still got Crosby, they still got Malkin, but it's like I don't think it's enough for them to get over the edge. I think they're just kind of like mid territory right now.
I mean, to be honest, like so with the Devils, if I was like, well, if we can beat them, okay, so that gives us not only a 3-game win streak, but we can arguably say that hey, we actually got to win over a good team. So we did. Now
Nashville's a good team too. They got so many new pieces that I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean,
Islanders are painfully just.
My issue is the same issue you have. They are getting mercifully outshot. Like, I mean, it's not even a close battle. Like, they are getting killed, and I think it's reverting back to like probably I'd say about 8 years ago.
Or 2021, 2022. It's the same shit I saw that year.
I think their issue is they're trying to find the perfect shot, instead of just getting it on net.
Shooting it. That's all it takes sometimes.
There's
Or
no
for a
difference
tip or the
between
deflection. Like
there's no
the Brinket's a sniper, but it's like he doesn't hit the net half the freaking time because it's like he's trying to look for that one perfect like corner shot, but it's like, dude, just or maybe it's just punt luck.
There's another thing too, is that it seems like every time the shot's almost available, there's nobody down low. They don't have like a what's his name? Who'd we have back in the
Holmstrom?
Holstrom
Bronson?
somebody that was always down low in front of the goalie. It
Holmstrom.
seems like
it has to be Holmstrom.
Yeah. There's nobody getting buried down in front. They get in front and then they get pushed out and they circle the net and then they go back. They try to get a place back there instead of just holding their own down there. They don't have that guy.
That's one of the like Bertuzzi. Like Bertuzzi was great.
There you go. Yep.
Bertuzzi was great at like that's the one guy I wish we didn't get rid of. Like he was the one guy I thought like he had a lot of roots here. We treated like obviously I think he loved being here. Larkin loved him being here, but I think like he was one of those guys where you want him on your team and you kind of need him to be on your team. I think that was a mistake on their part, but at the same time, it did get us to Brinkett. We did need a little bit better goal scoring.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful, but I think when looking at this team, it's not good for our defense. I don't think it's horrible for our defense because our defense core sucks right now. Like the only guys carrying it is pretty much Sider and Edvinson, and Edvinson's looked phenomenal in my opinion, at least.
It doesn't work though, and that's why I think sometimes they don't put them together. They put them on opposite lines so they can balance out the lines a little bit. Like if you have a top-heavy first defensive line, but everybody else behind is terrible.
Well, they've been putting them together a little bit.
Yeah.
As of recent, and it looks really solid. I think Sherratt, he makes his mistakes, but he's still pretty decent. He won't ever live up to his contract, but you look at he does the small things. But
what?
Yeah, my boy right there. Okay, Keith, you see how you got your jerseys up all right there? His mom has a whole room that literally almost looks like what Chris is sitting in front of. Like,
I got a whole jersey
biggest
rack, and I got
fan
some
I've ever
closet
met.
too. I got a shit ton, but I think
she's
overall,
got memorabilia. She's got jerseys, pictures,
Yeah.
stuff.
I'm trying to get to that point. I got my sticks. I got my Costa jersey over there too. So
yeah, he's got what is it? You got like 50 jerseys, don't you?
Oh no, I got like 100 plus, man.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm not devoted. Although I did find DHgate does have jerseys too, so I'm going to be using that app for getting my Red Wing jerseys now.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
but I think overall, when you look at this, but I think
they've got sweaters on there. That's cool.
Yeah,
but
I think overall. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Keegan. Go ahead.
I was saying, but I think overall, I think the 3 wins have been good for us. I think building momentum. I think we're building something. I think you look at how this team is structured, and I think part of it has been Casper being up. I think he has had a big jolt of energy to this team offensively wise. Like he played in the top 6 last night, and they're keeping him up there. Like I love it. And obviously Mott's out. Comfers, he's very solid. You can see that they're kind of missing him a little bit, but at the same time, like Casper's getting the opportunity to thrive, and he's making a state. Like, granted, he hasn't put up the points, but you can see on the ice he's driving the offense more than a guy like Jonathan Berggren or a guy like Kopp's been phenomenal too. He's been really solid.
He's done really well. Yeah.
Yeah. Like he's. I think last year he dealt with probably some type of injury. I think these guys kind of stay silent with a lot of these injuries. So I think maybe he was dealing with something last year, or just a whole mental game too. That's hockey. It's a mental game pretty much.
Yeah.
But I think overall, like, we're getting solid goaltending. Lyon and Talbot have looked really good. I love how Lyon's looked so far, kind of proven, where he left off. Talbot's kind of proven like, hey, he can still play in this league for how old he is. Little small mistakes here and there. I think he's a little bit more weaker on his blocker side or I can't remember. It's like, I think it's his blocker side, but overall I'm very impressed with how they've looked so far. Granted, not the way you kind of want them to win. I think you have to build off of trying to get more shots and trying to get them to do more things. And maybe that's at the trade deadline. If they're not in the playoff position, trying to trade off guys to whatever, and then bring these guys like Danielson and Kosa up or Wallander. Like you got to at some point you got to look at like, hey, the youth has to come up and just start doing their thing, and you can see that a lot of these guys are ready. That they're just kind of just being buried in the AHL, which isn't necessarily great.
It's not great, and the only thing is that Wings fans also have to understand that you start bringing these guys up, they cost you a game. You can't pout. You got to let it go.
I think
so.
Look at our fan base too. Is you look at who we brought in and how long they've been developing. I think we're okay with them, or more so with like a Danielson. If he comes up and makes a mistake, okay, like he's still getting used to the NHL. Like that's fine. It's like Raymond Insider. It's kind of like, oh, they're being brought up, but at the same time, they're going to learn from their mistakes, and they're going to, that's going to go a long way for them. Like I think they'd be okay with making those mistakes now, and then a season down the line, they're just absolutely killing it. Like I think next year is going to be a big year for like a guy like Danielson or Soderblom or Wallander to make the teams. We have a lot of contracts coming up. Kosa, I think, with the trajectory of this goaltending tandem, I think with how much money we're going to have in the offseason, I think Kosa is going to come up and play a big role. And I think another guy's going to come over next year, which is going to be huge. I think Sandin Pellikka, I think he's going to come over. And
I saw him the other – did you see his goal the other day?
Yeah, the end-to-end. I think the way he's been putting up points and the way he looks, it's almost it's just the type of offense that we need per se. So
one question, and then we can move on to whatever. Move on to one question. Okay, you don't want Lalonde in here. Okay, I can guarantee you the only way we get Lalonde out is we don't make the playoffs. Now, do you believe? It's a two-part question. Do you believe that in your mind we have to make the playoffs this year? Okay. And two, do you think the front office, that's their goal this year, is to make the playoffs? Because what fan base wants and what the front office wants, a lot of times is two different things.
I think it's tough because it's like, what was the first question again? Sorry, I kind of blanked on that.
I know, I got you. So what is the fan base that, like, does the fan base think that we need to make the playoffs this year?
Oh yeah, it's 100% with how close you got last year.
Do you think the front office, that is their? It's always every front office has got to make the playoffs. Okay.
It's so weird because it's like Yzerman's like, there's no timeline. He doesn't give a shit about a timeline. It's just whenever anyone's ready per se, which kind of sucks because it's like, well, fuck, like this team didn't miss by anything last year. Yeah, and they were so close. It's like you should have kind of kept everything kind of going, kept keeping these guys. Like.
But if you'd have kept those guys, then you couldn't have brought up the other guys possibly.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
that's why I said
lose type situation.
It's like that's why I always say, like, people always say, well, bring up the young guys, don't keep them low. You bring them up, but you set the team back.
Yeah.
Because you've got to go through the pains of the rookies making mistakes. So what do? You don't make the playoffs, but you bring up the rookies. Oh, exactly. Yzerman can't get the job done because they didn't even make the playoffs. But yet you wanted the rookies up, so you can't have your cake.
Yeah, I think at some point you got to look at it as like, if they're far out of a playoff spot this year, you have to start bringing those young guys up and kind of like trading guys out. But if you're close, then it's like, okay, like Yzerman, you got to either make some type of move or like you got to like look and be like, hey, like we're close, got to like improve that defense core. Like,
I'll tell you, if we're as close as we was last year, just like a hair away from making it, we don't make it, Lalonde stays. If we are completely out of it,
he's gone. He's gone.
He's gone. He should be. He should be gone.
Chris,
He's
I'm a
getting
Milan
saved
guy.
right now. He's getting saved by hot goal. He's getting saved by goaltending. That's
Yeah.
right now. He has a job because we're 3-4 right, or
We're 3-3 and or 4-3. Sorry,
4-3. We're 4-3 right now.
Yeah.
He's basically getting saved by that. By November, if we have a losing record, he needs to go. That is like my 20 games in. If we have a losing record, he has to go. And that if he's not fired by then, that shows the trajectory of what Eisman wants. But if he's gone, that shows also he wants to make playoffs. And I think part of what we're doing now is on coaching too. You can't play dumb and chase. You can't be outshot 31 to 10 in a game.
Wasn't the second period the other day? Didn't we only get 2 shots on net in one of the periods? That's ridiculous.
Can't happen.
Okay, Bandit, we're off our pedestal now.
Where they can find you.
Woohoo! Finally, that slide can be presented. I love it. Mike had to convince me that it was a good slide. I wanted more, but you can't always have more. Yeah.
Let them know about your show, Chris.
Okay, so you can find us. We're gonna be appearing on Thursdays at 9 p.m. every Thursday starting next week. And you can find us there. Just come in. We'll answer questions if you have any questions. If you have some fun facts that we don't know about, present them. We'll put them up on screen. And we might even talk about them. But yeah,
all fun and hopefully we see a lot of y'all here. And
we're gonna. I think me and Keegan are gonna come together and have some very, very interesting things. I mean, he's not gonna bring in his Kermit the Frog or anything like that, but maybe we'll figure something out.
I think at this point, if that show could go 3-4 hours at that point.
We got to tone it down a little bit, but we'll bring in the goal horn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe while we're having this, that's why I wanted to bring the goal horn in, because if we're
4 hours
watching the game at the same time with the wing score, we can just throw that up there.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of thing. Or we can do a segment. So we'll bring something new and fun.
You can load the horn on here. That's what I should have charged.
I already sent it to the email. So
all right, I got you. Next topic, man. There's a big game this Saturday.
Hold up. We just gonna skip over the other Detroit team in town. We ain't gonna talk about the Pistons,
bro. I'm getting there.
Okay. Nah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, let's talk about the Pistons. Going today.
Oh God!
Y'all run the show. They lost.
Now that answers your group chat question, DaeDae.
Yeah, no, I already know. Yeah, they didn't cover the 11.
And they were trying at the end for you, though, man. They attempted 3 shots to get you over. They tried.
The problem with the Pistons, because I've watched both games. I've actually watched more games this season than I did last season.
Me too.
We're at 2.
They play Boston.
And they don't look bad on offense. They really don't. They're shooting pretty well. Cade and Ivy are playing really good right now. Cade had, I think, 25 tonight, I believe. And Ivy had another 17 tonight, and he had 17 on opening night. So their offense is good. But, man, the Pistons can't play defense at all. They have no defense whatsoever.
Missing a big.
They have bigs. Well, they have one, Duran, but he's really not it. But he's a young kid. I'd like to see him stay and develop. And then they have Isaiah Stewart. And I don't really like Isaiah Stewart. I don't like his game. They say he's a good player, but from what I've seen, I don't see a good player. I don't see an NBA player.
Is it too early to panic in Detroit?
Yeah, we're only 2 games in.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say somebody posted on Twitter, obviously we don't, but just there was a couple of comments where it's some guy was like, Duran and somebody else, we need a center now. We need to trade for a center immediately. Duran and I think the Isaiah guy that you were talking about was
paper bag out
is terrible. We need a new center right now immediately. 2 games into the season, you got to calm down.
Put your paper bags on.
When you get to halfway through the season and it's just looking bad. Okay, no, maybe you can trade them off for like both of them off for like a true center, like who knows, in a pick, But slow the brakes, man. I'm telling you, like slow the brakes. Once again, I wait till the 20th game. I wait till about 25% of the games of any sport before I start evaluating how a team's doing. So slow down and let's just see what happens with the Pistons.
They got a big test tomorrow night. Boston Celtics town.
Yeah, they'll probably lose. But I mean, I hope they do well against them. Hey, if they keep it good, if they have an entertaining game and they keep it within like 10 or 15 points, I mean, that's realistic for the Pistons to be in. That's good. I mean, but at the end of the day, if you lose every game in the season by 1 point, you were in every game, but you still lost every game. So it's how you look a lot of times.
Hey, I wish the Pistons the best of luck. Maybe not tomorrow when they play my team, but I wish them the best of luck. Anybody else got any comments about the Pistons before we move on? Since y'all already talk about the Pistons so bad.
Well, I mean, we went from the Red Wings. I mean, I didn't want to go back to the Lions and back to the Pistons. We just talked about the Pistons right after the Wings.
Hey, you know how I do it. You know how. Now can we talk about some Michigan football? Y'all rivalry game?
Woo!
We ain't got no Michigan fans on here tonight. They ain't hiding. DaeDae, how you see this game going?
We're talking about this team, huh?
Talking about
You know what? I think State wins, but I think it's a good game, really. I don't think we're going to go in there and fuck them up. I mean, I said that pre-show or at the beginning of the show, but in reality, I think it's going to be a good game, but I do think we win because Michigan's just not good on offense, bro. They can't do anything on offense to save their life. They have no quarterback, none whatsoever. They got a good run game. They're just a mid team.
Hey,
Fuck them because we finna beat them.
Did you see the fight today?
Oh yeah.
Chris, Mike, and me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh shit. Chris, how you
that's me beating Richard.
Okay, so I'm gonna always. So my brother is a Michigan fan, so we always bet $1 on the game every year. Because I'm a homer, I hope Aiden Childs actually has a good game. He actually doesn't overthrow all his receivers because he has a propensity to do that. He's very mobile and he has a good arm. He just turned 19 years old and he's in his sophomore year. Like the dude is so young. So I fully expect that being that it's a rivalry game, it's going to be a good game. And because Michigan doesn't have really a quarterback, they still have defense and they still have a run game. We don't have a bad defense. Our front, I think our up front guys are pretty good. I don't think our corners are as good and our linebackers are okay. So the defensive game's going to be there. But Aiden Childs might be the difference in the game, believe it or not. If he can complete his passes and not overthrow his receivers, I think we have a really good chance to win.
I thought you was gonna go grab some Michigan State too. All I see is now Michigan hats, sweater vests, Keegan over here posing for the camera. Like
if I didn't wear my shirt yesterday, I probably would go and grab it, but I already wore it, so yeah, I'm not gonna.
For his hat. Like
I do like Keegan's hat though. I like the outline, the silhouette one. Yeah, I like that one. I like that.
Grumpy Sparty.
Yeah, Grumpy Sparty.
Michigan fans Michigan fans that got real quiet. Remember?
Because
the thing is though, is with Michigan fans, they can talk for 5-6 years now. I mean, they don't even have to win another national title.
We won the natty. We won the natty.
They cheated. They cheated. Let's be real. Let's be real here. Hold on. We're not going to say that. Oh, they won the natty. No, they cheated, dog. They cheated all day to get that shit.
I know we got a bunch of Michigan State fans in here.
Which is a rarity. We don't have very many often, but we got them as
usually we're way outnumbered.
Yeah, we usually get outnumbered like forever. But hey,
give
at least this time we got 3 of them. Yep.
Give us your game prediction, Chris.
Game prediction?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a ground and pound. It's going to be a lot of in the trenches game, I do believe. I'm going to take MSU. I'm going to take them. I'm going to take them 28-25, an odd score.
Keegan.
Ooh, that's a lot of
Oh,
points.
look who just woke up. Look who just woke up.
All right. So I think we're gonna have another moment where
fumble with, you don't have the fumble with the snap clip, bro. Come on.
I think this is gonna happen again.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
all I'm saying, it's gonna be really close. 10 seconds left. It's tied. I think it's like 21-21. Trouble with the snap. Once again, MSU wins by that.
I think it's gonna be a field goal block return for the point to win the game.
Yeah, something like that. But nah, I got Sparty's winning. I got Sparty's winning. It's gonna be close, but I think Sparty's are gonna pull it off, the upset, and the big I forgot the stadium name because I'm an idiot, but in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
Big house.
The big house. Fuck. Why did I forget that?
Give us a score, Keegan.
I'm gonna say 27-21.
DaeDae.
Before we move on, no outlandish picks and scores, freaking Bandit, okay? I just want be realistic, okay? I know you, but go ahead, DaeDae.
Ohio State swarms the field. Or some crap like that.
I think it's going to be a very low scoring game.
Yeah.
I think Childs does make a mistake, but I don't think it costs us because I don't trust that offense really. Michigan's offense, that is, because it's quite terrible. So I think it's going to be 20 to, let's say, like 17.
Okay. That's realistic.
I got this being a long, like 4 or 5 overtime game, man. Like,
bro, you tripping, dog. What is
See, I
this?
told you. He gets outlandish, man. Now, once in a blue moon, his prediction comes true, but he has such. It's like he's doing it for clicks.
Oh, God. Oh, for real. Both of y'all's teams stink. There's going to be no offense in this game, even though y'all quarterback can't move the ball better than their quarterback, but their defense is better than your defense. It's going to be a long, drowsy field goal game, bro. It goes like 4 or 5 overtimes, bro.
It needs to be like 15 to 12 or some shit for overtimes.
Man, oh, man.
It's going to be 3-2. It's going to be a baseball score. There's going to be a safety and a field goal.
Oh, my God.
I want Michigan State to win so bad, man. I don't like Michigan at all, man. I don't.
That everybody just want to let you know that just came out of an Ohio State fan's mouth.
Yeah. Oh, wait, you think Rick's going to take the bet?
We'll see if he takes the bet.
Yeah, but yeah, I got Michigan State winning. I'm hoping Michigan State winning, man. 30-33.
Damn. Oh my gosh, bro. We put up 30 on that defense, and we put up 30 on that defense, and we still lose somehow. I'm still talking shit because we just put up 30 points against that Michigan defense.
And they're playing in the big house, aren't they?
Yes, at night game.
Yeah. So if we put up 30 on Michigan in the big house, I don't care. I don't care if we lose 40-30, man. We put 30 on you.
Yeah.
You ain't going anywhere.
No. But shout out to the Michigan fans because y'all was talking shit saying Georgia was gonna beat Texas, but we beat the brakes off of Texas, bro. Okay.
With that score, Tori, I think you need to go to sleep.
Right. Lay off the NyQuil because you fucking drunk with that.
Take another gummy.
Y'all haven't even scored a total of
half a
53
gummy.
points. Hold on.
No, she need to take a full one for that.
Michigan hasn't even scored 53 points all year total between like 6 games, bro. So I don't even want to 53 points in one game. No.
I love it. No Michigan fans out here to defend themselves.
No,
What
man,
a
fuck
day.
them.
I love it. This is crazy.
All right. Where was y'all at? What was y'all doing when this happened?
There's the snap. There's the spot. Kick away. It is up, and it is good. Jake Bates sends it through.
Jake Bates, man.
Right here, sitting right here, looking at the TV
Jake
just
Bates.
like this. Standing
Sitting
up,
right-
not standing up, standing up.
Sitting right here in the Red Wings locker room,
Mhm.
watching the game.
Was on my couch drinking.
Yeah.
For the first time.
That was on your birthday.
What did you say?
That was on your birthday?
Yep.
Nice.
We got a kicker, man, and our Lions came in clutch, man.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous because he hadn't had a pressure cooking kick yet. But he struck. Hats off, he struck that baby right down the middle, and I'm glad he got a pressure kick because now we don't have to kind of be nervous. Like when there's a game on the line, he's had that now, so I feel confident now that he can kick.
What's your thoughts, Daddy, on Jake Bates?
Shout out Jake Bates, man. Came in. Everybody wanted him in the offseason when we all seen him kicking for the Michigan Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
We all wanted him. He's come in. He's done nothing but steady Eddie. I think he's got one missed. I think he missed an extra point. Did he not? Didn't he miss an extra point or he missed a field goal? He missed something. I know he's missed something one time this year. But other than that, man.
This year, I think it.
Extra point.
Yeah, I think it was an extra point. But that's fine though, man. He's hit everything else, which is all you need. I mean, reliability. An extra point. I mean, he's not the only one that's going to miss an extra point. I can guarantee that.
But he came in, man, and he's done what no Lions kicker has really been asked to do. You know what I mean? We haven't put our kickers in that situation and shit probably since that Pittsburgh game. Everybody missed it.
Rams game.
I don't remember that. I have completely blocked that out of my mind, along with a few other plays in Lions lore. So,
then he came in, bro. He just drilled it. Big game, division game, on the road. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm happy we got a kicker. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
You know what else we got, DaeDae? We got a quarterback. That man scored more touchdowns than incompletions, bro. Hey, golf been balling, man. Your thoughts on golf, Chris?
He's been so first off, he takes everything that he reads the defenses so well. He doesn't. This is why he doesn't throw picks. Is because, granted, he's not been asked to throw 30 times with the exception of one game. He's given what he's gonna take what the defense gives him, and he puts it into place. Yes, just like whatchamacallit said the other day, he can't run, so he has to throw the ball. So at the end of the day, I mean, he's doing exactly what we want him to do.
When you got a man like Jahmyr Gibbs next to you, you run like that, you don't need to run the ball.
And an offensive line that opens the hole so that we can give the ball to them. Everything, that's what makes the whole thing a team. Everything works together,
Golf a motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
He back there. He is slicing and dicing up every team we faced the past 3-4 weeks. He hasn't really made. He's got what, 2 interceptions on the year? No.
I think one.
No, he's got more than one. He's got a couple.
Gonna say something that's kind of controversial here, or
You can always say something controversial.
Yeah.
I think he has a good shot at the MVP this year.
Right now he does, yeah.
I was listening on what is it, ESPN radio, XM radio, ESPN portion this morning, and one of the guys on there actually said that in his mind, Goff is in the MVP race because who else is doing well that you can
Nobody.
That's in the consistency so far. Maybe Lamar's playing well, but
but not as long. Goff's been playing well the past 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Lamar's been about 3 weeks for Lamar.
Mm-hmm. It's just, I mean, Jared Goff is always going to have the stigma. So his name isn't there. He's not mobile. He's not flashy. So his name's never. It takes an overarching effort for him to get in the MVP race, just because of that.
Oh, 100%.
Goff's gonna have to throw for like. Goff's gonna have to throw for like 4,500 yards and like 40-something touchdowns to be in the MVP race.
I agree.
He's been balling.
Hey, he on his way there though. He's on his way there. I'll tell you
Yes,
what,
he
he's
is.
better than Dak Prescott. Fuck the Cowboys. Fuck Dak Prescott.
You can't stand Dak. I mean, I'm
Nah.
not a fan of him either, but you
Worst quarterback in the NFL, bro. Fuck that. He's so bad, bro.
Let's talk about Brian these last 2 weeks.
Oh, Brian Branch picked off Dak Prescott. I mean, perfect segue, bro.
He's been great. Like, he's been insane. Like, on the defensive end, just being able to, just find a way to get that interception. He's been insane.
Goff actually has 4 interceptions.
4.
Yeah.
Brian Brandt's been playing very, very well, bro. The game in versus Minnesota, where picked off Darnold, where he jumped in the air, that was nothing but instinct on that play.
Oh, man. I love that play. That was such a sick play.
You can see right as the receiver breaks, Branch immediately jumps the route. Just football instinct immediately kicked in. Like, okay, boom, right here. And he was there.
You have to know you have to know when to do it, though. You can't just like be jumping routes all the time, because it doesn't all. You just have to know when the right time is,
Hey, man. Him and Kirby back there, man, is a dangerous combination.
They got those dogs in them, for real.
8 interceptions, 7 forced incompletion, and a 91.3 combined coverage rate.
Yeah, doing well back there.
In the league.
No fly zone. They're like the second best right now. I think that what Atlanta has is pretty damn good. And Justin Simmons.
Here you go, this hometown Leonard shit.
Bro, ask anybody. Anybody will say it. Right now, I think I would give the slight edge to Kirby and Branch because they're healthy. Simmons and Bates are not healthy. Well, Simmons isn't healthy. Bates is healthy.
Man, they're playing at such a good level, in my opinion. Like, they're like at least top 2, not maybe 1. Like, they've just been so shut down for us and such a key on defense. Like, I love it. Like, the way that they play, it's just instinct for them, pretty much. Just get in the right place and just pick it off or just be able to block too. Like, just been great at that.
Chris, do we got the best safeties in the league?
Yeah, we're up there. I think what our safety do, actually, it makes it a lot easier for the corners and the D line to play too. So if they don't get home, it's not like, well, it's over. If we can't get home fast enough, the safeties, like a lot of people will tell you, and I've learned this through the guys, through the group chat and everything like that, because we got some awesome guys that know football, and I've learned a lot. Is like, if you have an awesome D line that can put pressure on, your corners and your linebackers don't always have to be so great, but it can work in the opposite way. If you have really good corners or linebackers, the defense then has more time to get to the quarterback, because if they're on the receivers, the quarterback's not throwing it, he's going to have to hold it a little longer. So it works. And so that's where I see that Branch and our linebackers are looking really good. They help the defense immensely.
We're the best. Our linebacker room is probably the best room on our team, like the deepest and most talented.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, Kirby and Branch are good, but after them, it's kind of like it's a big fall off. But with our linebackers, we got Jack, Anzalone, Rodrigo, Germ, and then there's Nowoski. Yeah, it's a deep linebacker room.
Yes, sir. Oh, get out of that, Jack. I appreciate the 277 people that watched tonight, man. I could have been in the world because we chose to come here and kick it on our 20th episode of Detroit What Up Doe. You feel me? Been gone for a couple weeks, but we back. And y'all know how we do before we end every show and let everybody know where they can find you at. Let them know where you can find you at.
You can find me right here, man. Right here in this chair, bro. Or on Twitter at Markham246. And let's go Sparty. We beat Michigan this weekend. So I come out here and talking mad shit. The next Michigan fan I see on camera. Kind of like I let Bandit up with the quack quack and the ducks. Oh, I'm gonna fuck Michigan up even worse, yo.
Wait, do Michigan State play Oregon this year?
Yeah,
right.
Coming up.
I'll wait till the final score of that one.
Well, we already did. Actually, we already did, I believe, and we got our asses kicked.
Okay.
Yeah. See, there's a difference of expectations. That's why I always tell Michigan fans. I mean, you can.
All right, we're not about to get back into this. Keegan, let them know where you can find you at.
All right. You can find me at, on TikTok.
State fans know we're going to lose.
At, that Wings fan 97 and go green, go white.
Chris,
you sure you want me to talk? You can find me on X at Crazy Hockey Fan, as well as Crazy Hockey Fan 1 on TikTok, and I'm on Facebook. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Once we hit 500 subscribers, we will be giving away a jersey. So please like and subscribe on Detroit Fan Report.
You took orange, bro.
Sorry. Well, I didn't know if you were going to say it or not. Like I can't predict what you're going to say, man.
I'm Bandit, man. This has been another episode of Detroit. Appreciate everybody watching, man. We out.